Hi guys, this is Smartphone Everything, and today we're gonna talk about the most affordable Samsung Galaxy smartphone you can buy right now. We live in a time when the new flagship devices are being released every month. Everyone is trying to make a top-notch smartphone, and of course we try to make a video about all of them. But today we're gonna go all the way down in the price range and try to find out what is the cheapest smartphone you can buy in 2020 and see what it offers, is it good enough for most of the average customers, and how cheap exactly is it. Our pick for the cheapest smartphone in 2020 is Samsung Galaxy A01. I know, we could have found some other Chinese brands that are even cheaper and probably offer more than the A01, but we wanted to choose a phone that's available in most markets worldwide and that it's coming from a well-known and reliable company, so we decided to go with this one. So let's start. Samsung Galaxy A01 was released this January, and Samsung is reportedly more than satisfied with the sales numbers. But before we go any deeper on this device, let's take a look at the specs. Android 10 with One UI 2.0, Snapdragon 439, 5.7-inch LCD display, up to 32GB of storage and 2GB of RAM, 13MP plus 2MP cameras on the back, 5MP selfie camera, 3.5mm headphone jack, and 3000 mAh battery. So looking at the specs, we can say this phone is as basic as it gets. It's nice to have Android 10 and One UI 2.0, but there are little guarantees that this phone will get the next major update. Snapdragon 439 belongs in the Qualcomm's lower end of chipsets. LCD display is of course not something you see in any mid-range phone anymore, let alone flagship smartphones. But do you actually need something more? I think most people will still be more than okay with this LCD display in 2020. 32GB of storage really seems like it belongs in the past, but if you're a light user, that is if you're using maybe few applications and taking few pictures, you will be okay with this. Headphone jack is always nice to have, and 3000 mAh battery should be more than okay for this display and power consumption. So overall, we can say it's okay, because we haven't talked about one more important aspect of this phone, and that's price. At the moment, you can find this device online for the price of $100, and that's why Samsung is selling so many of these. Brand new Samsung Galaxy phone in the box for around $100 will always look like an interesting option for some people who just want a brand new 2020 smartphone, but for a really cheap price. People who don't care about the most things we usually talk about here, and people who are simply restricted to that budget, like kids, older people, and so on. In this day and age, when we talk about the most budget phones, we talk about the $300, $400, $500 or even $600 smartphones. So when you see this kind of device being sold for $100, it's really refreshing to have this option from a well-known brand in the smartphone world. Because in 2020, it seems like we all expected that when we talk about the cheap and affordable smartphones, we're talking about a few $100s at least. It's crazy how we moved with the times and accepted that some $500 devices are considered budget and cheap today. Now, I'm not saying that these more expensive budget smartphones are not worth it. Almost every one of them is. Better specs, better screen, better everything in most cases. But for the people who maybe don't want to be paying for their phone for the next 2 years and just want to splash $100 for a brand new phone, I think you will be satisfied. And you will probably be happy for at least next 2 years using it, if not more. And even if you decide to buy a new phone next year, Samsung for example is probably going to have something new in this price range, so you can always upgrade. So what do you think? Do you think this device is worth its price? Or would you rather try to increase your budget and maybe buy something more expensive? Tell us in the comments. Thank you for watching guys. If you liked my content, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Peace.